Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Hey, my Facebook family, I hope you're all blessed, feeling incredible, and enjoying life. I'm going to put it to you like this, and I'm going to apologize in advance for me having my flannel with me, because today is Tuesday, the 11th of August, 2020, and it is sweltering. And those of you that know the UK, we're not designed for heat, not excessive heat, because the UK is designed for sitting in that middle ground, whether it be, kind of warm or kind of cold. UK is not designed for extreme. UK can't deal with being extremely hot or extremely cold. So we don't have AC. I've got a fan blowing, but to be honest, guys, it's blowing around hot air. So I apologize for me needing to wipe my face and wipe my brow because I'm leaking. But don't get me wrong, I appreciate the weather. I appreciate the heat. The heat is a beautiful thing. And you know what? The funny thing is, do you not find that people smile more when it's sunny? Do you not find that people are generally happier when the sun's out? Yeah, they absolutely are. So we've got to appreciate what we've got. We've got to appreciate this beautiful weather. But enough about the weather. Today, what I'm going to talk about is making an impact. Why, when you're in business, why when you're creating a legacy, why when you're doing something, you have to focus on making an impact. You know, making an impact comes from a lot of thought, and it's created by doing specific things. Firstly, you can't think about yourself. You've got to be thinking about others. You've got to truly be putting others before you when you make an impact. Because I'm sure you probably realize this yourself. You achieve a lot more when you help others. And first and foremost, you'll actually go a lot further for others than you generally will for yourself. To solidify that fact, I'm going to ask you a question. For your loved ones, will you go to the end of the earth and back? However, sometimes when it's to do with yourself, not always, but sometimes when it's to do with yourself, when you face tough times, you become lost, you want to give up. But if it was for a loved one, you're going to do whatever's necessary to make sure that they're good. You're going to do whatever's necessary to make sure that you can make it happen for them. You truly achieve more when it's doing it for others, when it's not about you, when it's serving. And moving on to serving, that phrase that's thrown around so often, it's all about serving, not selling. Some people say that for effect. Some people say it because it sounds good. It makes them sound sincere. It makes them sound as though they're selfless, they're not conceited. And I'm no one to judge, but you can see in their actions that they don't necessarily mean that. But when you come from a place of truly serving and not selling, you truly mean that. That's coming from your core. That's coming from the root of your soul. It shows up in your behavior. It shows up in the way that you go about things. It shows up in who you are. It shows up in your consistent actions. But with regards to making an impact, I want you to understand this isn't an overnight trip. This isn't a short journey. You have to be patient, because like mastering anything, it doesn't happen overnight. When you commit to mastering a certain specific task or a specific art, whether that be a martial art, or whether you're a professional sports person and you focus on mastering your particular game, that takes time. That takes a lot of time. It takes commitment. It takes focus. When you've committed to mastering your specific discipline, that takes effort, and it takes understanding that the road isn't always going to be smooth. It takes understanding that you have to focus and you have to give it your all. You can't half-heartedly master something, just like making commitment or leaving an impact. You can't half-heartedly do that. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you're focused. You see, making an impact, it happens over time. I want to give you an analogy. If you went to the gym today and you had a good workout and you came home and you didn't see any difference, you wouldn't be upset, because you know that when you're training, it doesn't happen overnight. You could train for a week straight every day and you wouldn't necessarily expect to see gains. However, over 6 months, 12 months, if you're consistent in your approach, you're going to see a difference. And you might not notice that gradual shift. But if you take pictures before and after, take pictures from when you first started training, take pictures 12 months later, you can see it. If someone saw you at the beginning of your journey and they didn't see you for another 12 months, they would notice it. That's just like making an impact. It happens over the time. You don't brush your teeth twice a day. Today, and not tomorrow, and not for the next 6 months. Because they're going to drop out. They're going to rot and drop out. You brush your teeth every day because it takes consistency. That's just like making an impact. You have to be consistent in what you do. My apologies, guys. I'm literally leaking here. But hey, it hasn't stopped me being in front of the camera, being in front of you guys, my Facebook clan. With regards to making an impact, I want you to also think about, this is your legacy, and how do you want to be remembered? Do you want, when people mention your name, they smile or they frown? Put a lot of thought behind that. In your daily actions, in your general behavior, I want you to really think about, how do you want to be remembered? I know of me personally, I want, when people remember me, when I'm long gone, they smile and they maybe have a laugh and a joke about the fact that I was always laughing. Or they might even comment on 1 or 2 things that I did that shifted or changed them. That's how I want to be remembered. That's the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. I want to know that I've touched people and I've made a positive impact on their life. That maybe they've gone down a specific journey because my story meant something to them. They've gone down a particular route because something I said to them made them realize their true value. That if I coach them, I help them get over limiting beliefs and understand that they're incredible. And that made them course correct their life and put them on the correct track. That's the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. That's why I'm focused on helping others and serving others. You know, legacy, impact, I want you to all remember it's a journey, it's not a destination. But if you're in business, this should be your primary focus. I want to make an impact. I want to make a difference doing what I'm doing. If what you're doing it because you're chasing money, that's going to be short-lived, my friend. That's going to be short-lived, because finance is one of these things that people will do some not so great things in the pursuit of money. People will lose their morals and fall off of their integrity bike, so to speak, in the pursuit of money. But if people are focused on making an impact, I can assure you they will do the right thing at all times. And they will go that extra mile at all times, because they realize, you know what, making an impact isn't about them, it's about someone else. As I said, it's a journey, it's not a destination. That's just like happiness. Happiness is a journey, something that you should choose to embark on every single day. When you wake up, ask yourself, if what I'm doing today, is it going to make an impact? And if so, is it going to make a positive impact? Because there's 2 types of impact. There's positive and negative. Is what I'm doing going to make a positive impact? Is it going to shift someone's being? Is it going to shift the way that they're thinking about life? Is it going to give them a positive outlook? Is it going to shift their thought process? Because when you think about business in that aspect, when that is your focus with regards to business, you transform lives. And guess what? Money will come as a byproduct. Money comes because it's part of the course, because you are giving value. You're offering a service that people deem as valuable. It's naturally what happens when you make an impact. But I also want you to understand that an impact happens over time with commitment and consistency. That's ultimately how you make an impact. That's ultimately how you leave a positive legacy behind you, with commitment and consistency. You decide each and every day, I'm committed to the cause, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to make sure that the things I do each and every day, the practices I undertake each and every single day, they're going to be positive, because I'm here to serve others and I want to make a difference in the right manner. I want to impact people's lives in the right way. It's your daily practices that create an impact, guys. It's the small things that you do each and every day. The little innocuous things that by themselves, they don't really add up to anything. But collectively, it's those things that make a difference. It's those things that shift people from where they are to where they want to be. It's you consistently talking to that person, asking that person how they feel and genuinely meaning it. Let me ask you something, guys. Those of you that are in a loving relationship, when you first met your partner, you didn't love them. But over time, you fell in love. And if I was to ask you to name the day you fell in love with your partner, is that even possible? Give me a yes in the chat box if what I'm saying is making sense. Give me a thumbs up in the chat box if what I'm saying is resonating. You can't give a specific time or date when you fell in love, just like you can't give a specific time or date that you will make an impact on someone. But I can assure you, if you're consistent in doing the right thing, you will make an impact. And it's funny, guys, because making an impact on people, making an impact with regards to what you're doing, that comes from your belief system. That comes from the person that you are. And the person that you are has been shaped on your experiences, whether that be good, bad, or indifferent. Because people can have bad experiences and still make a positive impact because they don't necessarily want someone else to suffer the same journey that they've had. They don't necessarily want someone else to suffer the same negative fate that they've had. So when you're making an impact, it does come from your belief system, but different things can motivate you to do great things. Something negative may well have happened that can motivate you to do something incredible. So take your life experiences, the things that shape and cultivate you and make you the person you are, and from the bad, look for the positive, look for something good. And from the good experiences, make them great. But focus on making a difference. Focus on being that person that makes a difference. Don't focus on making money. Focus on helping others. Focus on making a difference. Focus on making an impact. And you know what? You'll lead a truly exquisite life. Your legacy will be one that will be remembered with honor, in high status. People speak about you and smile when they speak about you. And guys, I don't want to make an impact because I just want to be spoken about nicely. I want to make an impact because I know that then I've made a difference. I've made a difference to other people. I've served them and I've brought around a sense of fulfillment to someone else's life. That's what makes my heart sing. When I truly know I've helped someone else, and when someone's truly grateful for what I've done for them, that's what makes my heart sing. However, I don't do it for the accolade. I don't do it to receive someone's gratitude. I do it because it makes me feel good. So you could say it's from a selfish point of view. I do things because it makes me feel good. But how about this? If I do something that makes me feel good, that also makes someone else feel good, is that what we call a win-win scenario? Because that's what I always thought. That's what I always thought a women's scenario was. When I do something that makes me feel good, and the impact that I leave is on someone else that also feels good. So if that's my motivation, it can't be a bad thing. But ultimately, as I said, I want to do things from the right place, from the right perspective. And you know, another thing with regards to, excuse me, with regards to leaving an impact, you'll find you have to be a leader to do that. It's not followers that leave an impact. It's not sheeple that lead an impact. It's those that will buck the trend, those that will lead from the front. And when I say a leader, be a true leader. Be a leader that creates other leaders. Because I always say, you know what? Managers manage. Managers, they oversee the process. But leaders, they inspire and they create other leaders. They inspire other people to be the greatest, the best version of themselves. They touch other people in a way that makes other people open up and think about, you know what? If I can do better, I'm going to do better. If I can do better, I'm going to work my hardest to put my best foot forward. That's what a leader does. A leader truly cares about the difference they make. And they lead by example. They lead through the demonstration of what they do. You know? Leaders, they think about other people and they consistently think, have I done the best thing by that person? Is what I'm doing making a positive impact on that person? How can I help that person go further? How can I help that person do better? That's what leaders do. So focus on making an impact. Focus on being a positive difference. Focus on being the one who does the right thing. I said, focus on being a leader. Focus on truly caring about others. You know, when you say hello to someone, look them in their eyes. And don't just say it out of common courtesy. Say it because you mean it. Good morning, how are you? And don't say how are you because it naturally rolls off your tongue. If you ask a question, mean it. And when I say mean it, be prepared to listen to that person's response. Good morning, how are you? You know what? I'm not great, you know. I'm going through some negative stuff. Talk to me. Is there any way I can help? No, you can't really help. Well, in that case, let me just listen. Because, you know, sometimes just being able to share your negative experience, if you feel like it, but just being able to talk to someone else sometimes makes a difference. So I'm here if you just want to talk. Be that kind of leader. Be the kind of leader that, and you know what? I hate that BS when you hear leaders say, yeah, I know every single person in my organization. If you've got a huge organization, of course you don't. But if you know your heads and maybe you know some of the next level down, but your mission is to impact your heads so they impact their teams and it rolls downhill, that's when you create a culture that has a positive impact. That's when you create a culture where people feel like family. That's the kind of business I'm creating. And that's the kind of business I will put every ounce of my effort into creating. The kind of business that all of my crew, all of my people feel like my family. Because I know when I operate like that, when I treat my people with that kind of thought process, I'm only going to do the right thing by them. That's why you have to have people in your organization that you feel that way about. And you have to feel that way about the people in your organization. You have to feel that way about the business you conduct. Because if you don't feel that way about the business you conduct, I promise you, if it's just for money, I promise you it will be short-lived. And you will not leave the legacy that you maybe have intended to do. You won't leave the positive impact that you want. When you focus on doing things for the right reason, that's when you leave the right impact. Once again, give me a yes in the chat box if it's making sense. Give me a yes in the chat box if what I'm saying is landing and you're understanding why it's so important to make an impact, to leave the right legacy behind. You know, making an impact, when you've adopted that thought process, when you've decided that that's what you want to do, take the time to truly care about others. Take the time to invest in the people around you. If there are people around you that see you as a positive impact, if there are people around you that can grow through your experience, take the time to share with them. Take the time to nurture those that are coming behind you, help them grow so they can produce and they can continue above and beyond you. Be the kind of leader, be the kind of person who wants to make an impact where everyone can grow and flourish. And if you're truly being selfless, you're going to want the ones that are just behind you to grow way beyond, way further than you've grown. You're going to want them to make an even bigger impact. You've laid the path. You put down the footprint. But they excel even further. They evolve even further than you do. That's the kind of person I want to be. That's the kind of thoughts I have, that, you know what, everyone around me, I want them to grow and I want them to surpass my achievements. Because it's not about me being the biggest man. It's not about me and only me making an incredible impact and leaving a mark. I want those that are in my company, in my presence, to surpass me. I want them to excel me. I want their achievements to be even greater than mine. That's what happens when you truly care. I want to teach people and I want to help them understand, you know what, if you're not delivering your best, why aren't you delivering your best? That's the kind of relationship I want to create with people, where I can openly ask them, well, what is it today why you're not putting your best foot forward? When you got out of bed today, did you decide not to be your best? Or did you make that choice that I want to be the best person I can be? And do you make that choice daily? Because if you make that choice daily, I promise you're going to make an impact. You might not even realize the impact that you're making on others around you. But when you've made that commitment to be the best you can be, you will, I promise you, make an impact. And it's going to be a positive impact. And you'll be surprised as to how many people you impact. See, because when you leave that legacy, you have to truly understand it's not about you. It's about those you're serving and those you're helping. It's not about you. Because people that leave a great impact, they are selfless. They're not focused on themselves. They're focused on others. They're focusing on, how can I truly make a difference in that person's life? What can I truly do to help that person move above and beyond where they currently are? If someone's stuck, how can I help them be unstuck? How can I help them transform their lives? Not because I'm getting something out of it, because I want to help you do better. I want to help you grow. Focus on making an impact. And you know what? You have to remember, you have to ask yourself this. If you're truly focused on making an impact, where does that desire come from? Does it come from my heart or does it come from my head? Because if it comes from your head, it comes from your ego. If it comes from your heart, it comes from your spirit. Why do I want to make an impact? Do I want to make an impact because I want people to talk about me because I've got a big head? That's all about ego. That's not impact, that's ego. And I heard an acronym for ego, and it makes so much sense. Ego stands for edge God out. And you know what? I'm not a religious man, but I am absolutely spiritual. I do believe there's a higher power, and I believe that someone created me, and they created me to put my best foot forward. They created me to make an impact. They created me to make a positive change in someone else's life, not just my own. And I also believe that each and every one, we go for a journey. We take on board lessons, and it shapes us and it creates the person, the man, the woman we are today. But that journey was there, designed to make you strong, designed to allow you to teach others from the lessons you've learned, and therefore make a positive impact. So guys, ask yourself this question. Are you doing things on a daily basis that are going to make a difference? Of course you are. The question you really need to ask yourself is, what kind of difference are you making? Are you making a difference because your actions come from your heart? Or is it an egocentric difference where it's all about me? Look at me, I'm the big man. That's not making a positive impact. That's not shifting people to become the best version of them. That is, I want the spotlight to be on me. And I told you already, making an impact and delivering the best version of yourself, it's not about you. So guys, I don't want to drag this out, but I do want to help you understand making an impact should be your number one reason why you get in business, because you want to help people shift. You want to create that change. You want to do something different. You want to provide a service. When you come from business with that perspective, you will make an impact. But I do want you to understand it's not something that can be achieved overnight, and it's not something that can be achieved quickly. But it is something that can be achieved one step at a time. Why did I say that? Because all can and will be achieved one step at a time. Guys, remember, and I want you to understand this, I'm committed to giving you value. The question I will always leave you with is, how committed are you to yourself? On that note, I want you to have an incredible day. I want you to go out and win. And I want you to think, first and foremost, what I'm doing, am I doing it for the right reason? And am I making an impact? Guys, have an incredible one. Make sure you win. Make sure everyone around you wins. And keep making an impact. Keep making that positive change. On that note, take care, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.